Greetings, everybody. I am Deji. With me today is, once again, SCWRM Comms. Please introduce yourselves.
I am Jovah, leader of SCWRM Comms, fresh out of America.
And I'm with stupid. Nah, just kidding. I'm Pedro, and once again, you're gonna have to deal with me because I just kind of stumbled out in here as well again.
And I'm Teo, and well, I'm just with the takeover as well. Might as well. So Mega Man 2, cool stuff.
So yes, folks, do not be deceived. Despite the fact that most commentators here are from a completely different channel, this is still a Blue Zone Comms video.
We're just
yes.
Again, it's just our takeover.
Yes.
I'll name this SCWRM featuring Deji.
Yes. So this is it, Mega Man 2. For those who don't recall,
the iconic theme from Mega Man Fully Charged. I'm glad they brought it here.
Welcome to Mega Man 2. Oh, hey, Deji, I didn't notice you were here.
Yes, welcome to Mega Man 2, or as many people used to call it, Mega Man 1, because this was the first Mega Man game they ever played. Yeah, for those who don't know, the first Mega Man game was not that hot a seller.
It's a bit of a trend. It's a bit of a trend with Capcom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first game doesn't do as well, second game does it better. Shame Devil May Cry did not get the memo.
Curse.
No, instead it's Devil May Cry 2 that everyone wants to forget.
Woodman.
Yeah,
oh.
I'm not going... disclaimer, I'm not going after Metal Men until next part.
Oh, interesting.
But what about Airman?
Oh, he's next.
So,
obviously.
Yeah. So, Mega Man 2 is in a lot of ways what I consider to be like the Super Metroid of Mega Man. It is in many ways the most iconic game in the series for a lot, and for very good reasons. It really stepped up the music stuff. That's not to say that the first Mega Man game didn't have good music as well, but this one really, emphasized the rock nature of it. It's literally rock and roll, but in 8-bit format. And it features
But his name is Mega.
And it features good old Manami Matsume, who you may remember from Mighty Number 9.
Okay, so I had 2 successful commentaries without mentioning that game. Thanks.
Actually, to be more on point with what just happened to be in the same tune with this game as well, I honestly don't remember much. It's been actually a long time since we did our own personal run of Mighty Number 9, so I don't remember much about the soundtrack. I was more busy raging on Mighty Number 2's puns. But gonna be honest, I want to give at least the soundtrack another chance to see if it's at least fine, and I'll just leave it at that.
Mighty Number 9
It's good, it's the one that they like to remix the most.
The Mega Man 2 theme kind of became the unofficial series leitmotif, kind of.
Yeah. No,
I
I was talking about Mighty Number 9's music, but...
although, you know what the ironic thing about the Mega Man 2 title theme is? It's a slight remix of the ending credit theme of Mega Man 1.
So it's kind of...
Okay.
So it's kind of
Yeah, because Mega Man 1 is bad.
So it's kind of like when the second Professor Layton game essentially had the puzzle theme being the same as the first one, but in a bit of a segment more, or kind of like how Justice for All had Maya's theme, identical to the first one, but adding also an extra bit.
Yeah, that seems to be a Capcom trend with soundtracks. Anyway,
or how Devils Never Cry is basically... many people consider that to be Dante's theme.
Well, that's Bury the Light combines essentially all the battle themes from Virgil and a bit of Devil Never Cry, pretty much, and it's amazing.
But yeah, the Mega Man 2 theme in particular is probably one of the most beloved out there. Like Mega Man Fully Charged in particular loves to remix that theme over and over and over and over and over.
Also, did you seriously leave in sprite flickering?
No.
Well, that's because Jovah, sprite flickering was already a thing in the original NES. So this is actually how the game runs on the original hardware.
Oh, I get that, but I thought the Legacy Collection gave you the opportunity to turn sprite flickering off.
Well,
it's because of my Elgato. That's it.
Oh, okay. So basically, wait. So even though you turned off sprite flickering, the Elgato records it
It kind of.
Well, actually,
It's like a compression.
well, here's the
issue.
thing. Hold on. I don't remember the Legacy Collection having it has a turbo mode, but it doesn't have a turn off sprite flicker option, does it? I don't remember it having.
I recall it did.
I thought that it was.
Well, let me check.
I thought that it was the X Legacy Collection that had the option for the filters.
What I do remember, I do know that
flicker.
Mega Man 9, by default, even back in the original release, has the ability to replicate the original NES sprite flickering, but you can still leave it off by default if you want.
Alright, Deji, have you I know you're probably not doing that, but have you tried attempting to do, because in your Airman stage, that glitch that the AVGN pointed out?
Nope.
Alright then, it's
It's
really
a tough
weird.
one.
But honestly, it's worth it just how bizarre it looks.
How good is it? Like, are we talking Pokemon Gen 1, would you say?
Yeah, it's similar to that. Essentially, it creates the stage goes bonkers essentially, and the layout goes wild as a result. It's similar a bit to from the same episode that he mentioned that Atari 2600 game, where when you can fuck up with the controls, you sort of create your own custom stage, just not in for the intended use.
So, what is your general opinion on this game?
Oh, I
Honestly-
love this game. I mean, okay, it is definitely aged in a lot of cases because, for as iconic as this game is, it doesn't have a lot of other staples like, you know, Rush or the Slide.
The charge shot, I call.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, believe it or not, folks, the charge shot, even that wasn't really a thing in Mega Man 2.
Yeah, we know.
But whatever.
We literally talked about it in 4.
Well, to be fair, that Jovah wasn't in there.
Yeah.
I know, but still, it's like, I'm sure most people who are watching this,
Whatever. The
all
point,
10 of you.
also
It's
the
kind of the ironic thing, though. It's like, was
bro,
that
you just posted cringe. You're going to lose subscriber.
Okay. My overall consensus of this game is that I personally consider it a classic, and it is literally what saved Mega Man from going the way of Darkstalkers.
This came out before Darkstalkers.
Well, Jovah was only making a comparison in how the sequels do. But to be fair, Darkstalkers also improves everything with its sequels. The problem was how they were marketed and the way they were created, because they were done kind of, if I recall correctly, after.
Nope. Hey, look! It's Mega Man's biggest fan.
I just
Oh, those guys.
But anyway, they were done basically after the creation of the SRB, at least the sequels as well. So they were done kind of in a time where adult-rated games could not have a bigger audience as the one targeted more for kids. And compared to other Capcom franchises, Darkstalkers struggled because it was specifically designed to have stuff like blood and sexuality in the characters. So sadly,
Also, it came out in a time when Capcom was saturating their fighting games, so it's like,
they were being fighting it for everything. You have Street Fighter, then Street Fighter with the Universal Monster, then Street Fighter, but it's a bit more like Tech for Airman.
See, why did people say that Airman's so hard?
Blame Vanta Plus, I guess.
No. He wasn't the one that made I can't defeat
because
Airman.
I'm guessing a lot of people don't go in with the Leafs. I guess.
That's probably.
He's not even that hard without the Leaf Shield.
Sure.
If you can Mega Bust them, easy.
That's debatable.
message from Dr. Light.
but Yeah, okay.
You must defeat
Item 2 completed, Mega Man. Get your weapons ready.
Yeah, this is the one thing I don't like. I kind of wish there was a bit of a speed up with this one.
Hey guys,
This
remember
sex
when
feels
back then it was just numbered items that you got? Good old times. That said, though, if I recall correctly, the
X.
power.
Bubbles.
If I recall correctly, though, the power swapping here is relatively simple, where you can basically shift from power to power easily.
Well, actually, no. This is.
I kind of wish it would. You have to pause.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is still in the time where you have to pause. Yes.
Sorry.
I
Mr.
wish it was
Captain
like
Heavy.
the anniversary collection where you could where they actually installed an option for you to do that.
Well,
Which,
that's the thing. That's the thing, Deji, and this is part of what I was saying here. The Digital Eclipse's idea with this collection was to emulate the original NES experience as closely as possible, to properly preserve the games in their original way that they're played, and which I can respect.
But quality of life changes.
That being said,
try.
I was about to get to that. As of the December 2018 update to the Legacy Collection, the Turbo Mode was added to eliminate the NES slowdown. As for sprite flickering, no. There was no removal of sprite flickering, I'm seeing right here. That's because everybody, for those who are not as familiar, basically sprite flickering was very common on the NES. Why? Because, and I'm seeing here, the picture processing unit on the NES can only draw 64 sprites per second and 8 sprites per horizontal line. So if the game has tries to draw more than that, some of them will be invisible, and that's why. There are emulators that do give you an option to remove sprite flickering. However, and the emulators will even warn you of this, it may cause graphical glitches in certain games because most of the time the games were designed with the sprite flickering in mind, and if you try to force it to be disabled, it will cause issues. So, that's most likely why Digital Eclipse didn't try to remove it, because it probably caused issues. Go ahead.
Also, Jovah, to quote, we really know we're two completely separate, different things.
Yeah, don't go spreading around rumors, okay? Completely original.
Yeah.
Now, those bullet bills that you saw in the first game, yeah, those were.
But yeah, okay, back to my consensus of this game. Mega Man 2 was definitely a good pinnacle of what a sequel should do. Build off of the original, improve it, but still keep the spirit of that original.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the same for me as well. This does anything that a sequel should do. Basically improve all stuff all around. And even if it doesn't perfect the formula, it still, is a huge improvement over the first one anyway. So that's why it's bound to be more memorable.
Yeah. And like I said, this the first Legacy Collection that we're doing that we're seeing here is the overall best official way of playing these games. Well, the 8-bit versions at least, because the Turbo Mode that they added with the update eliminates the slowdown. So it really, basically, it actually does indeed surpass the playing it on the NES.
Oh look, it's Bubble Man. Look at him, he's so pathetic.
He attacks you with bubbles.
Fucking bubbles.
Well, actually, apparently they're made out of sulfuric acid, so that's actually kind of dangerous.
Good to know.
Fun fact.
Well, that's what they said in the comic. So yeah. I'm like, oh, that's actually bad.
Oh, you're referring to the Archie comic, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was hoping we'd get to talk about that. I really do like how the Archie comic did draw up on stuff like this here and there. It's actually a very good reference point for stuff as well. I would definitely.
And for some reason, Bubble Man is weak against Leaf Blade in that one, even though he's not.
I guess it's the typical thing about how water is apparently weak to grass elements.
No, it was meant. It was meant to be a joke, because it's like that show how pathetic Bubble Man is.
Hey, Crash Man!
I'm sure his weapon is gonna be so insignificant.
Yes, he is one of
don't worry, I use it more than
Crash Man is
often.
One of the poor robots who is doomed to a life without proper hands.
Along with Drill Man and Needle Man.
Oh, if I recall correctly, I think the comic actually literally takes the piss out of that too.
Yep.
Because
Needle Man is born. I live to serve you, Dr. Wily. Good. And I just pick up those things. And Needle Man's looking at his hands like, and Crash Man's like, welcome to join the club, brother.
Fun fact. The game, the first Legacy Collection originally came out on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam.
And 3DS.
And 3DS. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. In 2016.
Yep.
Later on, in late 2017, the Switch version came out, which included an it was in late 2018. Sorry. And it had already the Turbo Mode and the Rewind feature available right at launch, which was also added as an update to the other versions as well. However, PS4/Xbox/Steam owners still have to wait quite one more year before they will get an update that will give them the rewind feature as well. So
I'm surprised that the Legacy Collection 2 doesn't have that.
I get the
Because that would have made Mega Man 9 a lot
that's the thing.
bearable.
Like,
I get the idea that they minded fuck up with Mega Man 7 and 8, but there's no excuse for 9 and 10.
it's that's the thing, Deji. Legacy Collection 1 was developed by Digital Eclipse, and they always put rewind features in their games, like they did for Aladdin and Lion King and the Disney Afternoon Collection. The collections after that, however, were done by internal.
Which somehow are on Switch, despite the fact that they're NES games.
Good God.
Oh yeah, the Afternoon Collection wasn't ported to the Switch yet? Oh, okay.
No.
I'm aware of that.
That's so bizarre.
Well, regardless, Digital Eclipse always puts rewind features in it. However, Deji, Legacy Collection 1 was the only one to be made by Digital Eclipse. And all the other collections were developed internally at Capcom, so that's probably why.
Although I'm just wondering why only make 1 through 6 instead of just putting the whole thing
Because
in one
Capcom doesn't really care. Digital Eclipse is the one that cared, not so much Capcom.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, that's the thing about Capcom. I mean, they're not the worst company out there, but a lot of their priorities do seem to be off of what'll make us the most money. How many times
no.
can we re-release
Oh, no, it's
something
starting,
so that we
guys.
can just- What?
It's Jovah vs. Capcom Infinite Bitching
No,
Round
no.
2. Let's go!
Jesus Christ. I mean, I wasn't the one who, well, it is a legit point, though, in regards to the Legacy.
I know,
collection,
it's
though.
just that you're... It's like, I can't escape a commentary with you doing
Fine,
that.
it will be my burden to bear, then.
Funny that you mentioned that, Jovah, but more on another time.
But yeah, okay, look. Capcom are a company that, let's be honest, they do like to see how much money they can make by reselling a game in any way, shape, or form.
Of course, look at how many times they re-released Resident Evil
Or Street
4.
Fighter 2 back in the 90s.
Super Street... Yeah, Street Fighter 2, which, yeah, they're even re-releasing to this day with the Super...
How'd you enjoy your $40 glorified port?
I didn't buy it. Like, I know
It
what
was
they
the
were
only
doing.
way for Capcom to determine whether or not they'll support the Switch.
Yeah, the console that
Actually,
was already making...
Ultra Street Fighter 2 was a Switch exclusive.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it was the
trying
Capcom
to,
test.
It was Capcom trying to test Switch players.
Yeah,
to see
but
if they
I was
really
mentioning what
did it.
Deji just mentioned about, instead of something coming to the Switch rather than already being present.
Well, yeah, exclusive or not, though. Surely they could have given Switch players something better to work with.
And then later that year, they announced the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which had multiple Street Fighter 2
But
editions.
not
So it's like,
Ultra
wow.
Street Fighter 2. I honestly think Ultra Street Fighter 2 is the better version of them, and I don't understand why it was included in that one.
I don't get it either.
Whatever. Next part.
But that's for another day.
See ya.
Yeah.